Today we're gonna cover this topic called measures, and we'll also touch upon something related to measures, which are similar to measures but not exactly to measures. So let's see what we'll cover in today's tutorial. First thing is measures. Second is DAX functions, like measures are achieved through DAX functions itself. Calculated columns, and fourth one is applications. So additional discussions, maybe I can show you one practical example, difference between calculated columns and measures and some of the interpretations. So let's dive in. So before telling what is measure, I'll tell you the application of measure. Imagine that you have a sales data. The sales data is nothing but a transactional data that you store in a database or in Excel. So with that sales data, you want to understand, you'll apply some kind of modification and transformation, and you want to get some new insight, something like this, like calculating some new insight like discounts. You have cost and sales. You want to calculate profits, the percentage change, the trends, etc. So all these can be achieved by transforming that sales data into a new insight. So that can be done with the help of measure. Some other example can be you want to grade something or categorize data, cluster. You want to make clusters like these kind of customers come into grade A, grade B, something like that. So that can also be achieved through measures. Some other example can be data related slicing. You want to filter some kind of data and apply some aggregations on that. For example, you want to know the sum of February sales, yesterday's data, weekly sales, projections into the future. Anything of that sort can be achieved using measures. And statistical and financial related calculations like standard deviation can be used in statistical. So you want to know the probability distribution of the sales and want to know how will my sales be for the next month or something like that. And PMT, future value, etc. These are some finance related calculations. This can also be achieved using measures. So measure is nothing but a tool. It's not a tool even, just a simple line of code that can transform or aggregate your data and help you to create a new insight from the existing data. A small example is given in the bottom left. That is nothing but we want to calculate the projected sales. So this formula is something like this, that is sum into sales of last year sales into 1.06. So 6% is the increase in the sales from the last year. So this is how you create a measure, and this is the formula that is used to create a measure. So moving on, DAX functions. So DAX stands for data analysis expression. So the functionality of measure is achieved using DAX. So if you are familiar with Excel, so DAX is like the father of this Excel formulae. We have many inbuilt functions which can help us to create new insights with the data, and like there are enormous number of functions. These are just some segregations in that functions like time intelligent functions, date and time functions, logical, information. So I provide you with the help of a link here. The Microsoft provides each and every detail about each and every function and with certain examples. So again, these are like multiple in number, they are in hundreds, so we may not even touch upon some functions in our lifetime. So I'm not explaining in detail about all these functions, but yes, these can be helpful at some or the other point in our business cases in our life. So these are different DAX functions, and these are the different types of DAX functions. They are even text functions, parent child functions. So yes, there are many DAX functions with which we can create measure and create some new insight with the existing data. So moving on, there is some other concept called calculated column. The name itself indicates that it is something which is calculated from a column. So again, coming back to the same example, sales data. So you want to create a new insight. You'll create with the help of calculated column. You'll create a calculated column with some formula that will generate a new value from the existing values which are limited to that row itself. So it is similar to measure. They are physically stored. So calculated column data will be physically stored, like it consumes lot of RAM in our system. They are calculated on a row level. So once we write the formula for the calculated column, so the value will appear for each row. That value will take into consideration the values in that row itself. So example is given in the bottom left, that is projected sales equal to. Here we did not use any kind of aggregation, whereas in measure we indicated, which started with some aggregation function like sum. So here sales of last year into 1.06. So every row will have that individual sale of that month or something. So that will multiply that value with 1.06. So each row will have a value for that particular column based upon that row's value. Again, they are time consuming while data loading, because all these manipulations are loaded in the data. So this will be physically stored, as I said, and this will be handled in the Power Query itself. So they are time consuming while loading data. And these calculated columns can be used in, so the basic use of these calculated columns can be that these can, as these are physically stored columns, we can use them to create certain relationships. We can use them to create some other measures from these calculated columns, and some other application in the next slide. So here comes the major question. As I said here, calculated column is also similar to measure. So why, when to use calculated column, when to use measure, and why is the difference? So measure is not at all stored in the RAM. Measures are calculated on the fly, whereas calculated column is stored in the RAM and it loads while loading the data into the report sheet. So measure consumes CPU and calculated column consumes memory. So measure usually starts with any kind of aggregation like sum, divide, if, or any kind of formula itself. It does not start with the value of a column, whereas calculated column starts with the value of a column. We have seen the example previously. So it does row by row calculation. So value can be seen while adding to the report. Whenever a measure is created and you want to see any value, so you need to add it to any kind of report, any kind of visualization, then only value can be seen. Whereas calculated column, you can see the value in the data tab or in the Power Query as well. So DAX is usually the best place for this calculation. Like whenever you want to create a measure, you can just type in the, select the checkbox, create new measure, and DAX can help in creating measure. And for calculated column, in majority of the cases, can be done in Power Query by using some column transformation or adding or subtracting the values. Examples again, sales year to date. So this is nothing but a financial function, I would say. So total YTD, and here it starts with a formula. It starts with an aggregation, that is total YTD. Whereas in calculated column, again it starts with basic columns, that is sales minus cost. So interview question here: when to use measure and calculated column? So whenever you want to create a relationship or you want to add that column as slicer, you will go for calculated column. Other than that, if there are too many measures in our data report or the PBIX file, it takes up all the memory. So you will go for calculated column at that point of time. In rest of the cases, you will definitely go for measures. So this can be an interview question asked, asking you to state the difference between calculated column and measure. So this is all for now. I think we can move to an example in next few seconds. So here I have some data that is downloaded from the Microsoft website itself. The data is related to the sales of some kind of goods. So this is the data. We have these many columns here. So this is gross sales, sales, COGS, profit, date, month name, etc. So some application of calculated column can be something like this. So I will first create some visualization. I'll create a chart plotting gross sales versus the month. This is gross sales versus the month name. As you can see, we have sales with respect to each month in descending order. So I want this chart to be fixed to this page itself. I don't want the whole month name. I'm good with the first three letters of the month name. But in the data, we have the whole month name here. So we can transform this month name into some other way with the help of by creating a new calculated column. So here we'll create some calculated column. So this is the way to create a calculated column. I'll click on this new column. So I'll keep this name as month underscore short, and I'll use some basic Excel function. There is nothing but left of this month name. I'll select this month name, and I want just 3 characters of it. So I'll just select this 3 characters and I'll create this month short. So the month short is created now, and I'll click on apply and I'll click on OK. So I will not select this month name. Now I can directly select the month short this year. So this applying some kind of aggregations. Let's see. So yeah, as you can see now, only the first 3 letters of the month are being displayed. Previously it was not possible, but now with the help of by creating a new column, this has been possible. Some other example can be so here we have COGS, here we have gross sales, here we have cost, and here we have profit. But the total sum is not matching here. I think there will be some discount involved. So let's see if there are any discounts. Yes, there is a discount band, low, high, none. So let's try to figure out what discount was given. So in order to calculate the discount, the way can be one way can be is to subtract this cost and profit minus the sales, so it will lead to discount. So let's try to add that column here. I'll create one more new column with the name of discount value. So for that I'll subtract cogs. I'll subtract cogs from sales minus cogs, and I'll also subtract profits. So this can give me the discount that is given to each sale, each product while they are purchasing. So there was no discount given at all. So discount is 0. Okay, we found some value here. Discount is something else. That can we do negative data. So let's, I think there's one more space extra. Let's correct that and let's see what is the discount. Okay, there is no financial sale. I think instead of sales you can take gross sales. I'll take gross sales here. Yeah, now it's fine. There is some problem in sales data. So now we got the discount value here. So this is the discount given for this product purchase. So in this way we have calculated the discount for each product purchase. So we can plot that discounts. I will plot discount for that product. So as you can see here, discount. If I click on that, the summarization is sum. So I click on this tool summarize and I'll select the discount. Not with this visualization, I'll select some other else. So this discount value. Yeah, we got discount value and I'll select the product. Yeah, so this product has these different kinds of discounted values. So we calculated this discount using some formula. Now let's try to achieve that using a measure. So a measure can be created by selecting this thing called new measure, or else you can select that in the new tab as well by creating new measure here as well. So we'll go home and we'll just create new measure. So in measure discount underscore measure. So this will be, so as I said, measure will always start with some kind of aggregation. So I'll use SumX here. In SumX, I'll select the table. Table is nothing but the financials. This is the table that it is. And the expression. The expression is nothing but the gross sales minus the COGS minus the profits. So that is what I'll add here. So gross sales minus COGS minus the profit. And so what does this do? So it will calculate the sum of each row with this formula. So it will take this table, and whatever is the context, it will apply this formula to that context. It can be row, it can be product related context, it can be any filter. So let's see how the values will be displayed. So if I drag this measure now, if I select this measure directly, so it will give you the whole aggregated value, because the measure itself has a formula of sum. So it will do this calculation for every row of this table and give us a sum. And if I drag something else, and if I represent this in some kind of name, this kind of name, this kind of card, name card, so it gave me the sum of total things. And if I represent in the form of table, it is giving me a sum of total things. If I select product here, so now it is also representing the sum, but with respect to this product. So the filter context is applied. So measures work on contextual level, whereas here we have just selected the calculated column. They do not work on context level; they work on row level. So that is a major difference between calculated column and this field. And for this calculated column as well, if we summarize using the sum, then indirectly we are making it as uh, a measure. So here we are separating separating the row value and then adding all the row values to create that measure. So if I unselect this and select this again, it also represents the same. So we are calculating the formula and then aggregating. For measure, we are aggregating and then splitting based on the context. So these are the two major differences, and other than that, the major differences were discussed in the PPTs. Like the calculated column can be used in creating relationships while adding it to slicers. For example, if I want to add a slicer based on this discount value, so I can directly create a slicer, something like that, but I cannot add a slicer uh, with a measure, so that is not possible, and Power BI does not accept that. So these are the major differences between measure and a calculated column. I hope this video was meaningful and purposeful. So thanks for watching.